Who tipped in the DoorDash driver? Because at that point that was exposed to us or told to us, it was said by Chief Fry that their story added up and it checked out and they were verified over the phone. I don't know who put that tip into the police. When if you go back and watch Chief Fry talk about how it was vetted as reliable and that it happened and that the driver was clear, he looks sick to his stomach when he's saying it. I believe that was Bryan Kohberger, again, being part of the investigation, that they didn't know he was the killer and part of the investigation. I believe he submitted that, said that he had answered the phone or something, or that he had talked to him. His story checked out, and he did this to see if they would put it in the timeline or, again, authenticate it as real. Would they take his word, being a police officer, that he talked and checked this guy out? So they played his game, and they came out to the public and said that she had a DoorDash delivery come at 4 a.m. They are playing into him because he did not leave enough evidence to get convicted. There's enough for an arrest, so they saw this, and this, and they're like, oh my God, this is him. We're going to get him. And then all of a sudden the DNA matched. Oh shit, go arrest him. And then now that they're trying to do a discovery and get all the information on him, it's not there. Or it's misconstrued by his doing. But remember the 2 statements made also? Right before the PCA was released. It said they were afraid they didn't want to release it because it might cause public outrage. Again, yeah, it would if they knew that a Moscow police officer used his badge and uniform as a way to control 4 people before he brutally killed them, and use his badge in the way of accessing systems that are designed to keep people safe. He used to stalk, pick his victims, and watch his victims. Do you remember how people were like, how did he just seem to know? As soon as they were all in the house, he just left Pullman, Washington. Because he had their phones cloned, man. He already did it he already did it. So when the police, after they've got the bodies out of the house, this and that, they go to extract data from these guys, their cell phones, which they don't have. So they go to try to forensically clone them, because that's what you can do if you don't have a physical device. You can clone it, and then it just, again, you get on a computer and you can see everything that's on that phone that not physically have it. So you can see last interactions, this, that, and the other thing. But we don't have any last interactions through cell phone data from anybody but Xana Kernodle. And it's a 4 o'clock DoorDash. It's all things that happened when the supposed murderer could have been there. Is the only time we have any phone activity from any roommate? That's funny to me. That seems fabricated. So again, I believe that would be the only reason to create public outrage, would be, again, if there was another killer on the loose. But there was not another killer on the loose. Bryan just was able to socially influence this information to almost make people want to think that there's another. It's creating reasonable doubt, man. He's a very, very intelligent guy. Again, the way he did this, there's not enough evidence there to convict him. So I think the last 2 articles to come out, well, like they've been talking about the first article, we really think we're going to find the murder weapon. Next article, the police are highly confident that murder weapon will be found. I think they're taunting him to get honest and tell the truth. And if he doesn't open his mouth and admit what happened, circumstantially and evidentiary, he's going to walk. So they were duped by him. What if they duped him? And fucking, we found the murder weapon. Lock him up. All right. Want to play even hard? All right, fine. We find the murder weapon and you say there's not enough evidence for to convict you of the Idaho 4? What's the latest article out? Bryan Kohberger, is he responsible for any more homicides? We'll pin you with some other shit, man. Come on. Get on this, bro. That's what's going on right now, guys. If you know the criminal system or ever been through it, this is exactly what they're doing. They're playing, man. And there's really not a way to talk to Bryan right now, so they're going to put out headlines so the family can tell him about him. Or he can see it on the TV or read it. So, again, I think at this point they're trying to fucking press him to tell what happened, because at the end of the day, he covered his ass online so great. And look, he erased all their online digital footprints, but he didn't for his own. He left all his old stuff there from back in the past, the visual snow, he left it all there. Here's another indication. Papa Roger, was that a law enforcement account? Because one thing that account never had attached to its name was a location. It was always just anonymous, but usually it would specify like anonymous. When it's like an law enforcement account or something, it'll never have a location on it. It's for protection and whatnot. So that was always curious to me, the Papa Roger account. Like, I'm not saying on the main page it was Papa Roger. It might said where he was from, and I believe it was like in Indiana or something. I'm saying usually when you post, it will say where you're at when you post. Not one time did it come up as where he was at when he posted. Another thing law enforcement can do that the public can't. Say the killer was messaging someone through Instagram and they wanted those messages in your Instagram, they'll take it down or take that Instagram and those messages. It's now evidence, okay? That nothing can be erased off it now or used. It's evidence. So Bryan knew this. That's why, again, what is the last known? What did Ethan? What's the last time he did on his phone? What's the last thing he did on his phone at what time? Who was the last person he talked to? Why don't we know any of this information? The only reason we wouldn't is if it has been destroyed. Why is the only data wise that puts anybody on a map or anything is Xana's phone and Bryan? It's stuff that he put there so they would find it. I mean, the DoorDash driver thing never made sense to me, though, any way possible, because, again, look, it was Bryan trying to fucking see if they would take him serious, see if they were onto him yet. Something must have happened where he got nervous and thought they were onto him. Or, again, just playing, maybe he was just playing fucking, damage control and just, again, being involved in the investigation and so he didn't look guilty. But all we ever heard about that DoorDash order driver was that Xana got it at 4 a.m. I just believe they're almost playing into his bullshit. Like, they know what he did. They know she didn't get a DoorDash at 4 a.m. They know. But, again, they're trying to not say that he did this as a police officer, that he took a uniform and this and that and this. Like, I'm telling you, man, he did this as a police officer. They were duped and infiltrated by a killer. How do you bring that to the public, man? How do you say that? The people that you're supposed to trust to protect and serve have failed you miserably, have failed 4 individuals and their families and friends and loved ones. How do you bring that to the public? I don't know. So I don't know if it is going to be brought to the public. That's why you're seeing a case built on other types of evidence and that not being told. But it's going to come out. And still, nobody's talking about this, that I'm bringing it up. The more I talk about it, the more it seems like my videos are getting less and less views. This topic is taboo because this topic is the truth. But if you could prove me wrong, I would love that, because like just every instance I look at, it fits right up to it. Like, they're desperate as to the point they put warrants in to get the metadata. If they had all their phones and everything they did, they wouldn't need to put a warrant in for the metadata, unless they were trying to see what someone else was doing in the area or something like that. Your personal data is what you do on your phone, day to day, phone calls, messages, whatever. Metadata is what you do on the internet from your device. So, what do you guys think? I am really, really curious to hear you guys' opinions on this. I mean, it's really the only thing I see that fits, but it's only a theory, and it's the theory I'm going with today. But it fits. It feels real good. And again, they never screamed, they made noises, or it was just, again, 2 roommates downstairs and 4 people upstairs brutally killed. Or again, how did he do this? I think he was dressed as a police officer in some aspect. I'm telling you. So, like, subscribe, and share. He's probably going to play off his, again, and then what if that was a known drug house or party house in Moscow? I mean, it's not odd for the police to keep an eye on the houses that are usually a nuisance. So, again, he was just checking out the party house, just making sure, going above and beyond to serve Moscow. I'm sorry, but if this is all the evidence they have on Bryan, they already know what time it is. That's why they're trying to get him in the mid-air, and they're taunting him with these newspaper articles. He knows what he's doing. And I hope he just keeps his mouth shut and keeps rocking out, because, I mean, I mean, he's a scumbag piece of garbage for what he did. But he's showing us how, I believe, again, technology, it's good when used properly. But there's too many ways that it can be used the wrong way. That, again, whatever is that the motive? I mean, I don't know. We really, at this point, I need to try to establish a motive. But again, I'm almost confident now that can say that whatever. There was a mother that called in the Drunk Turkey Show and Chronicles Olivia. Been talking about her. She also said something about Bryan being required to have a certain amount of time volunteered at the police department too before he graduated this summer. So again, I mean, I don't see him starting his internship in February or March to graduate in May. I don't know. Maybe. Seems a little off to me. They said they usually apply in the summer to start in the fall to graduate in the spring. So again, you can see that they gave us the emails that he did apply for this internship. Okay, him and 2 other guys. So again, why were we given that crumb but not anything else? Because it just seemed like the lazier and lazier these YouTube creators get, and then lazier and lazier again, you tell whatever you say on here is the truth, or it's fucking the Bible, but like, there could be more to stories, there could be more to things. Chronicles of Olivia, go on her page. She has made a video where in real time, you can see Maddie's LinkedIn page being taken down by law enforcement or manipulated, or it's where they cannot access it anymore. Who did that? Who was doing that? So again, the crumbs are being left out to put this all together. But when you put it all together, like, they don't want you talking about this. This is the truth. How is James Fry going to bring to the public that, again, he is trusted to hire people that are reputable people to protect the community, the citizens of Moscow, Idaho, Pullman, Washington, and he failed them. I mean, I don't know if there's any way to tell, but I mean, I would feel as if I was the chief of police and this happened under my watch, I would feel like I failed the people of Moscow, Idaho. All right, guys. Sorry, this gets me going every time because, like, could you imagine? It's like almost the same thing that just happened with Tyree Nichols, man. They pulled him over for a minor traffic violation, end up beating him to death. 5 officers. Again, you're supposed to trust. Who wants to call for help when the 5 police officers are beating people to death? Who wants to call for help when the Bryan Kohberger might show up? So did he separate them all? Did he go in? Did he come on a thing of a noise complaint? Did he come in the name of what? What did he come in the name of? And is this also why he was pushing so hard? How did the killer enter and exit? How did the killer do this? How did the killer do that? So, like, subscribe, and share, guys. What do you think? I really want to hear your opinion on this matter. Thank you, and thanks for the support.